And what do they make of their father as a rocker?
They think I'm crap.
Quite right, too. Do you play the records in the car and that sort of thing?
No, I don't. I mean, Fifi's here, and she said, "I just don't like your stuff, Dad. It's rubbish." Just after the run-through, and you know, no, they think I'm obviously embarrassing, which is true, but they go, "God, that's rubbish," you know, like if they hear it, they sort of recognise my voice, you know, or lack thereof, which they point out constantly as well.
Right, well, the last time you did this show was in 1980.
Yeah.
And you then just Bob Geldof rock star in those days. I mean,
I was Mr. Fabulous. I think you remember.
I remember the suit you were wearing, actually.
Yeah.
That kind of lurex thread in it, as I recall.
See?
You did make an impression, Bob. It even 22 years not wiped out. But I mean, what's happened since? I mean, even you could not have imagined it. I mean, you wrote an autobiography in 85?
Yeah, 85.
Which said, what was the title of it? Is that it? I mean,
no.
Well, the answer was no. But not even you could have imagined what was going to happen.
It's all been really odd, and I've not been grandiose. It appears to me to be a life of extremes, certainly extremely episodic, like soap opera. I mean, you delineated various Bobs that people respond to, and I'm sure it's true of anyone, but specifically in my case, and that is largely true. It's hugely episodic, and what seems to happen is that something occurs and I can see the scene unrolling before my eyes, but I have to step into it and be a participant in this scene, and I regret it instantly. I'm in there, but it must follow its course. And
but what was that moment like, though? I mean, when you walked on stage at Live Aid and there were 1 billion people watching you, and you weren't just going on as a performer, you were going on because you're the author of all this. This was your idea. It must have been a most extraordinary moment to understand that. You stood there with the band, to imagine all that you brought together.
There's a picture of me taking my jacket off and turning to the piano player, Johnny Fingers, because at the moment I walked out on stage, things were contextualised. Suddenly I was the singer in this band, and I was on this stage, and I wasn't organising this thing or worried about it. And the physical size of the noise attacked me. Now, we'd been in Wembley before. I'd walked out with Prince Charles and Princess Diana. It was a huge noise for them, but I was thinking it's 12 o'clock, where's the band? They should be starting. And then I walked out with the Rats, and this really overwhelming noise, and the picture's me turning around to Fingers and saying that word that she won't even let pass her mind, and going, and I'll do it in her direction, she won't look. And then I was into it, and but as I was into doing that which came naturally to me as singing, I did feel, and it's really corny and sort of hippyish, and I don't mean it to be, but it happened to be, I felt a huge connectedness. Possibly it was the electronic loop that we'd fired around the planet. But certainly I imagined Vladivostok or Buenos Aires or Boise, Idaho, or Sunderland or whatever, and realised that they were all watching that, and that everyone I'd ever met in my life, even casually, was possibly watching. And there was my dad, who we'd had a rough time when I was a kid, and now we are good friends. And then everyone in this place. And I was doing a song which had been a hit called I Don't Like Mondays. And I got to the line, the lesson today is how to die. And it pulled me up sharp in anticipation of that I was going to sing that. And I stopped. And as I'd stopped and the band had stopped with me, I thought I'd take in everyone that I could possibly take. And I wanted to take the moment. And I just looked around this vast sea of people, and I thought that I was making some contact, but the noise rose to this amazing pitch. And I felt very centred and very true, and all these, I don't know if you guys get this civil war inside yourself. You say something, the other party says, that's rubbish, That stopped for a brief second. And I was calm, really in this cliche in the centre of this maelstrom, and the moment passed and I moved on, and I haven't been calm since.